I made a video about the app that I built, the architect, last week titled, I built an AI mentor that calls you out. And I got this comment on my video, rightfully saying that he's pretty hesitant to share deeply personal information with a system that describes itself with terms like no card, no data sold, entries encrypted before they leave your device. Your project, like many others in your field, is closed source and doesn't really shine a light on how users' data is encrypted and how the associated memories are managed. A follow-up video detailing these security concerns would do a great job at helping people feel more aligned with your vision and better protected when it comes to things like privacy. It's completely understandable for anybody to be hesitant to put their personal thoughts into an app that says private but doesn't show the work like many other apps out there. So this is completely understandable and it's a fair thing to be hesitant about. So I'm not just going to tell you guys that it's private, I'm actually going to show you guys what I mean by private and how truly private it is in this video. And if anything is not actually protected, I'll point it out myself in this video. I'll show you guys the database, what data I store, and how the whole system works, and why it is actually truly private. Most apps claim that your data is private, and it's a phrase that means nothing because it literally means that they promise. But the architect makes a sharper claim. Your entries are encrypted on your device before they ever reach a server with a key only you hold on to. I will create a fresh account on the architect and walk you through the steps and then talk to you a little bit about the private key and how I came up with this idea and how it actually works. And in this video, I'll be showing you the actual database and what I actually see from any user's account or their data. And I will truly be honest about the trade-offs because there are some. With that being said, let's go ahead and create a fresh account together so I can talk you through what that looks like. Quick note, the lighting changed because I'm filming this bit the next day while I'm editing the video. I'm going to save you the full onboarding walkthrough here. If you clicked on this video, you came here for the privacy side of things, and I want to be respectful of your time. I will upload the complete onboarding and the product walkthrough as a separate video on this channel. For now, let's skip to the part that matters here. After you create an account and after a few journal entries, the app prompts you with the recovery key. And that's where the privacy story really begins. There you go. So after your third journal entry, you're going to get prompted with your recovery key. This is your specific key that opens your lock. So this is the key that opens all of your data. I don't have a copy of this. This key is not stored on the server. So if you lose this key, I'm not going to be able to recover it for you. And unfortunately with that, all of your data is going to be gone once you go to a new browser, a new device, or wipe out your browser history. What you want to do here is, as it says right here, copy this key and save it somewhere safe right now. In the following days, I'll actually remove this remind me later option because this is quite important for users to actually save a copy of this key. Anyways, your journal is private, truly private. Every entry is encrypted on your device before it ever leaves. So not even we can read it. This key is the only way to access your entries on a new device. No one else has a copy. That's the point. Exactly. I actually have this know-how from my crypto background. I've been full-time in crypto for the past 5 years before getting into building this app. So this is a know-how I got from the crypto space. And this is literally how crypto wallets are encrypted and secured. So I use the same technology for the architect. And once you get to this screen, you can just click on here and then your key will be copied, or you can click here. And then once you actually copy it, make sure you save this somewhere safe. And I personally suggest that you save it in multiple places. Maybe save a copy in your email drafts, email yourself a copy of this, save it in your notes, and then lock it or something. Wherever you save your important stuff, save this. Please don't be lazy when you get this screen. Just copy this key, go save it somewhere safe, wherever you want. There you go. You can just paste it somewhere and then keep it safe. Anyways, once that's done and you saved your key, you click continue. And then here, just to make sure you actually copied your key and saved it. I mean, I can't make sure that you saved it, but You just paste the same recovery key here. You click confirm and continue. Recovery key saved. Your workspace is secured. So with that key, let's say you created your account on your desktop. If you want to access the same account on your phone, on your iPad, or another computer, whichever new device you go to, or even in a new browser. If you want to open your journal and have the mentor know your entries, and for you to be able to see your own entries, you need this key. There's no other way around it. So save this key somewhere, and upon your login on a new device, the app will prompt you asking for this recovery key. And if you input your recovery key, your entries are going to be unlocked for you and for the mentor. Let's get to what the database stored for this account, shall we? So this is the user profile that we just created together. Name is the architect. So that's the only thing that I am able to see on my end, and your email. That's it. I can't see anything else on the server side. The server does not save anything else. So if there's ever a data breach, if somebody, God forbid, hacks Supabase, my database provider, currently, which is one of the biggest in the world, this is all they're going to get about you. You see, these are ENC encrypted. These are just gibberish. Focus is gibberish, tone is gibberish, known facts, as you can see, everything is encrypted and gibberish. This is what I see about your account, literally. I'm not opening up Supabase user profiles because I don't want to expose other user names, but this is literally how it saves. This is the journal entry we just did together. So I only see the user ID, which is a database user ID for you. And then the content is encrypted, as you can see. And all of the other journal entries are also encrypted, along with the mentor responses and along with your follow-up responses to the mentor. So everything is encrypted, as I promised you guys. You can see this is how the database stores your information, and the only way for this encryption to be opened to plain text is for you to have your private key safe. Next time you get into the app, you're going to see a prompt for setting up a PIN pop up. Setting a PIN is optional, but I personally like a PIN because even if you give your device to somebody, you let somebody use your computer and they go into the architect. If they don't know your PIN, they're not going to be able to access your account. Same thing with your phone. Even if you go into a different browser tab and then come back to the architect, you're going to have to input your PIN, which keeps your journal and entries safe. So I definitely do suggest you set this up, but it's optional. So if you choose to, you don't necessarily have to. For the purpose of this demo, let's set up a PIN. There we go. Now we set up a PIN. As you can see, I can see my own journals, but the database can't see it. So if you journal whatever you put in here, I'm not going to be able to see it. And if you lose your private key, I'm not going to be able to save your data. So make sure you don't lose your private key. I'll show you how the PIN works quickly before we proceed to other aspects. So like I said, even if you go into a different browser tab, and then you go back to the architect, it's locked. So this is why I suggest you create a PIN for your account. And if you do end up forgetting your PIN, at least we have a safety measure for that. If you input your PIN wrong for 4 times in a row, you'll get an option to reset it with your account email. I want to be fully honest about one thing. The onboarding that we just went through together is pretty new, and it wasn't in place when I built the encryption system. So for that little period, the onboarding answers were actually in plain text in the database for those users who signed up after I created the new onboarding. And after I got this comment on YouTube, I went back and audited my own app and my database. And when I noticed that those were plain text, I actually shipped an update. That's what I've been working on this whole day. Went ahead and used the same encryption system for everything, just like I showed you. One caveat with that is, like I said, I don't have a copy of your key. So I can't encrypt your data for you. The next time you log into the app, it's going to automatically migrate all of your data, and everything that you input prior to that time will be encrypted, and everything going forward will be encrypted. But as I promised on the landing page and in my videos, the journal entries has always been encrypted with the technology that I told you about and showed you about. So the fact that you have to log in once again from your device that's holding onto into your key for the database to be able to migrate all of your data into the encrypted side is actually proof that you're the only one who holds the keys to your data. And this is not just a simple promise or a policy I'm choosing as the developer of this app. This is actually math. So even if I wanted to, I can't see it. Just like I said, even if there were a data breach, the breacher of the data is going to be seeing gibberish unless they have a copy of the key that only you have. So what's encrypted? Your entries, mentor responses, conversations, onboarding answers, pattern memory, and anything the mentor remembers about you. And even the answers that you give to the onboarding questions. What's deliberately not encrypted is the name that you give the app to call you with, just so that I can send you emails, or the app can send you emails using your name instead of being just like dear user. And that's a trade-off, and that's a decision I made consciously, and I wanted to be fully transparent about that. And let's talk about the AI call. That was also among the comments I got in my last video. When you submit an entry, obviously it goes to an AI model to generate the response. In that prompt that's sent to the AI model, there is no user ID, no email attached, nothing about you personally. From the provider side, the API provider, it's an anonymous request from just one account, which is the architect account. So imagine all of the users being on this side. There's architect here. Whatever you input your journal entries goes to the AI model through the architect. So the AI model sees all of these requests coming from only one main source, which is the architect, not you. The only thing identifying to the AI model could be anything you input in your journal entries. And that means you don't have to share your address in your journal entries for the product to work. So keep your private information private, your legal name, your address, or anything like that. You don't have to share that if you don't want to. So one piece of user education while we're at this topic, keep your entries about what you're working toward, what you're thinking about, and not your full legal identity if you'd like to stay anonymous. The mentor does not need your address to be useful. And I'd like to share one more thing with you guys, and you can also fact check this yourself if you please, but Claude AI, which is the API that I'm building the architect on top of, does not use data submitted through the API to train its models. They only retain the data that gets sent to them from the main architect account for 30 days, and then it gets deleted. But I am in the process for a zero retention agreement with them, and I'll update you guys as soon as that's done. So every time you actually put a journal entry and it goes to the AI and the mentor responds back to you, the AI model is not going to retain your journal entries. And if we get back to the YouTube comment, I said claims without a walkthrough aren't enough, and I understand that. And if I was on the other end who didn't see what was going on in the backend, I'd like to see that too, to actually trust. Promise to do a dedicated privacy and security video, how the encryption works, what reaches the server, what reaches the API call, what I can and cannot see. And I believe this video fulfilled my promise. I don't expect you to trust me because I'm just a guy on the internet, but I just showed you the actual thing, how it works, the logic, and I hope it all makes sense. If anything doesn't make sense, feel free to comment. Just like I answered this commenter's question and doubts, I'd be more than happy to answer any other doubts or questions you may have. It's 4 a.m. here, and I've been working on this encryption migration update the whole day. It's done. It's really solid. I tested it out. Everything is encrypted now, not just the journal entries. So next time you log into the app, if you already have an account, everything that you input, even your onboarding answers or anything else, they're going to automatically be migrated and encrypted, and everything is going to be only unlocked by your key. And like I said, journal entries have forever been encrypted, and now everything else is also encrypted. The only data I have about you is the name that you input when you're onboarding the app, and then your email that you use to sign up with. I'm also working on a new update, a new feature that's going to be coming soon. It's going to be an optional backup for your private key. And like I said, it's going to be optional for users who are too anxious to be the only ones holding on to their private keys and they want a backup. And even then, with the system that I'm building, I still won't be able to read your data, and that'll be a separate video when that update ships. I do hope that this video walkthrough was helpful in showing how the app works and mostly the privacy features and the privacy promises. If anything is unclear, if you have any further questions, feel free to just comment down below, or if you please, you can send a private email to hello@architectapp.ai. And aside from that, if you have any feedback, future requests, or any questions, feel free to comment or email. It's 4 a.m. here and I've been using a lot of brain power the whole day. So please excuse my sleepiness, but I do hope you enjoyed this video and I do hope that I've been able to answer any privacy concerns about the app that you may have. And now that you know more about the architect, if that's the kind of thing you want to journal into, it's there. If you just wanted to see how it works under the hood, and now you did.